Stay commenting on my stuff.
What's up, man? They're gonna notice it somehow.
Yeah, they.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Art Mitch.
This is Yolanda Mitchell. What is Art Mitch? Right? I thought it was Arthur Mitchell. Yolanda Mitchell.
Okay. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Arthur Mitchell.
This is Yolanda Mitchell.
And we are
the
Mitchells. What's going on, everybody, man? I know it's been a while. I don't know. We've been in the lab working. We got schedules that that keeps us moving, but we promise y'all we're gonna be consistent. We'll give y'all what y'all need, give y'all the knowledge, understanding of just about what marriage is like. Even in the workplace, we our schedule's different, time frame different, but we still gotta manage and balance ourselves between work and family. So that's what we've been doing. So we're back in the groove. Glad for y'all coming and getting serious. But thank you again for the follow subscribers.
Yes, thank you. And also, we've been sick.
Yes.
I don't know. He didn't even mention that. So
I wasn't there yet.
We both are in education. I'm with the babies, 6 weeks all the way up to 5 years old, and my husband is with elementary and middle schoolers. So our immune systems get hit every time.
Yes.
So I was sick. No, he was sick first, and I was sick, and then it just went back and forth. But we're good now. We're better.
Yeah, well, by God's grace.
Yes.
So thank God again. One thing we found out that you never know who's watching.
Right.
We found out he was watching, but didn't know. They've been inspired, been changed, and we're thankful for you guys. So tonight, very interesting topic. We decided to talk about the power of praying and fasting.
Yes. So this is something that's near and dear to my heart. Growing up, I knew about fasting. I never knew the power in it, though. I had never really applied it to life, and like I did 2 years ago. So with the power of praying and fasting, when I started fasting as a college student or a young adult, I would fast, I would pray, things would happen, things would change seriously. And I knew that God, there was power in it. I did not realize, though, that some things only come through prayer and fasting.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, the difference. Actually, one of that, I'm going to read you a little scripture for y'all. Matthew 17:20-21 says that he replied, because you have so little faith, truly I tell you, if you have faith the size of the mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you. This kind only comes out through prayer and fasting. Which is so true. Remember when I first got saved, and I went to my former pastor church, Pastor Jonathan Downer. Shout out to Shalom International Church. And there was a fasting and praying church. So, like she said, growing up Baptist, I really didn't know about fasting and praying. I know about praying, but fasting, never heard of it until I got to my former pastor church. And when I tell you it was a fasting church, it was a fasting church. But the thing about that I love it was it was power behind it. I mean, people was healed, set free, delivered. I mean, one fast I got offered 2 jobs, and things happen through prayer and fasting. The power of the Holy Spirit touches. You can do jobs. Marriages can reconnect. Lives can be changed. People get saved in fasting because there's power in it. And God gives us a power for the things that happen, but don't come, like she said, through prayer and fasting. So doing that showed us with a light, and like you said, let her talk about it, how it really, showed us how powerful it is 2 or 3 years ago.
Absolutely. So leading up to my adulthood, I was able to come across this powerhouse life coach. Shout out to Coach D. I will make sure I link her information down below in the description. She talked about her testimony at a conference about how she prayed and fasted, and God opened the doors and allowed her marriage to be restored. And so I was like, okay, a life coach who talks about prayer and fasting? I got to know more about this. And so I reached out to her, and she taught me what she did. And as she was teaching me what she did, I tried it. Me and my husband was going through a really hard time in our marriage, where I was just like, God, I'm so sick and tired of this organization, the Masons. I really need him to come up out of here. And y'all, I'm telling you now, my husband talked about the things that can happen in a fast, and this is so true. Things change, God blesses, doors open. But what I'm so grateful for the teaching that I got from the life coach is she taught me that chaos breaks out in a fast.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
Things can happen in a fast. It honestly could look like it's getting worse in a fast.
Yeah.
And so that's what was happening for us when I started fasting for him to become out of the Masons. Y'all, it's like the more I fasted, the closer he got to him. Like, the more I fasted, the deeper was the connection. And I'm like, God, now I know I'm not doing this for nothing. Like, and for us, we knew prayer and fasting from, like, abstaining from food for a certain period of time. And so that fast in particular, I would abstain from desserts or sweets for a particular amount of time, or sodas, or, breads or anything like that. And so I fasted and prayed the first time. And y'all, I'm not even gonna lie to you. His connection to the Masons was so strong that it made me not even go into it with the right mindset, because I was like, he ain't gonna never leave this place. He's never going to leave this organization. So I don't even know what I'm doing this for. I have never went to God without, like, I honestly think I had the size of a mustard seed faith that day, like that fast, because I was so discouraged, because I'm like, what are we doing? Why am I going to these events, or why am I being asked to go to these events? I don't want to do that. So I'm praying and fasting. And she instructed me, like, don't go. It was a Christmas gala event he wanted to go to, and she was like, don't go. And I was like, well, maybe I should, just to, like, appease him. She was like, don't do it. And I said, okay, I'm not gonna do it. Prayed, fasted. That one I wasn't really confident in, because I knew the way I went into that fast. And so I did it again, fasted again. God, please let him come out. Let him come out. And I went in there. Something else that happens in fasting. You go in there with one thing you're asking God for, and then he opens the door to so many other things. It's like, God, I wasn't even in here for that, but thank you, because I needed to know this, and this. And so that second time I went in, I'm talking about, I went all in, praying, fasting, going before the Father. And then I started to see things kind of fizzle. He would tell me little things happen. They was throwing him under the bus or something. They were mad at him about something. So I saw God working. But Lord knows, y'all, it was not fast enough for me. I was so ready for him to get out. And the moment I knew that my fasting was not in vain, because sometimes you don't get your answer that moment. You don't get your answer within those 3 days. You may get your answer a little while longer. The moment I knew that fasting was not in vain is when my husband said to me, well, babe, you fast and pray all the time and it works for you. I'm going to try fasting when it comes to being a Mason. Honestly, I ain't need nothing else. It was at that moment I knew. I said, okay, God, so it wasn't in vain. So you did hear me. Oh, okay. And so he can definitely go into the great detail on the next part.
yes, like you said, I just watched your prayer and fast, like you said, and I forgot to remind you, when fasting, when you go on a fasting, things happen, because the enemy know the outcome of the fasting. You start throwing everything with your way, man, make you feel like what you're doing is wrong. When I'm fasting for the question, the doubts, why this didn't happen. I thought I would go to fasting and praying, that's going to change, going to switch around. But the enemy tests you on the point where you got to have a faith, like you said, the size of a mustard seed, and just allow God to move through. Just like look at Job, what he went through. He lost his family, lost his people. He never wavered from God. So doing fasting and praying got to be the same way. As we testing trials, different things going to happen, but you got to understand, like, you're in this for a reason. God called you to fast to do it. So, like she said, she went on the fast. I was getting closer and closer with the Mason, deeper and deeper the more she fast. So I got one day after said, praying and fasting works for you. Let me try. So I went in 7-day fast, guys. I said, I'm going in 7-day fast. If you want me to get out, I get out. I'm not worried about how I feel, nor how you feel.
Now, I'm going to tell y'all something real quick. My husband was a master manipulator, okay? He has the gift of gab, and he knew exactly what to say to make me, like, get in his grace, right? So I knew that in order for me to really see if he's serious about this fast, is to hack into his phone. and see who he was talking to and see his conversations with his friends, the Masons at the time, to see like, are you really doing this or are you playing with me and you just telling me you're doing a fast? And it was like day 1 or 2 into the fast and he was already like, oh, I'm gonna be back with y'all, I promise. Like, we gonna do this. I'm coming back, because he was taking a break. He had already gotten offline because he was about to become a shrine. That's why I said it felt like he was getting closer, because he was online when I was doing this to become the top head, Mason. That's how I call it. And so I'm just like, Lord, please, you cannot let him go to Atlanta. You can't do it, because I already knew had he crossed over and became that, it was going to be over for us. And so I went to his phone and I saw him having those conversations. And I said, God, I need you to show up in this fast. And I need a physical manifestation to show me if this is really you. And what he's going to tell you, it about blew my mind.
Yeah. So you were talking about the first one. I went on to the first one. I did that.
Okay. So that was him. That was you coming out of being a shrine?
No. The first one, when I said that I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna see God won't be in it. And I told you what God said.
Yes. Yeah. So so the first one, he went on. It was like a 3-day.
Yeah.
And the third day, he said, "Yeah, God telling me that I should go back." And I'm like, "No, he didn't." And so the whole time, the whole 3-day fast, he's talking to them, talking about, I'm coming back. I'm gonna, tell my wife that I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. Now, was that at the time where they told you that if your wife is not with it, then like leave her alone, or was that before? That
was before.
That was before. Yeah, they was telling him to like leave his wife to be a Mason. Yeah. Like that was crazy.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. So, like you said, I'm a manipulator. I was a manipulator to get the gap. So, I man, I can go on this fast. I'm gonna tell her that God says I'm okay to do it while I'm spending my time with my wife. So, you know what I'm saying? That happened. So, it didn't really work like that. No. So next time, she was still praying and fasting. So, this time I said, no, I'm going to go on a real fast. No, a lot of stuff going on. They throw me at the bus. No, things are happening that shouldn't happen. I was just confused of why I'm almost there to the top. Why so much happened in the middle allowed me not to want to go. Mm-hmm. So, I'm going to go on a 7-day fast. This one I said, God, pull me out of here. I go no matter what's going on. Y'all, no lie. On the 7th day, God spoke clearly. They said, you will be in my family, their family. I said, God, your family. Give him a yes. I took off my emblems off my car, got my clothes, coats, rings, necklace, everything I had missing, and threw it away.
So he's being very modest with this. So it was a 7-day fast. And about the 2nd day, he came home and said to me, babe, do you think the reason why we're going through all that we're going through is because I'm a Mason? Ding. Yes, I do, sir. What do you mean? Y'all, because we were really going through some very, very, very tough times financially, spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Like we were really, really struggling in every area of our life. Mm-hmm. And it was because we was connected. God said, I would have no other guys before me. Okay. He is a jealous God. And so when you are in these organizations, you are literally signing yourself up and your family up to all the demonic connections, to all of the covenants, to all the agreements. And one thing about God, he honors covenant. Whether it's a covenant with him or a covenant with Satan, he honors that covenant. And so my husband entered in every initiation, every, what's it called?
Obligation,
every ritual. But no, every time you went in, the 32nd, 33rd.
Every degree?
Every degree. Mm. Every degree he went to, every higher and higher he went to, that was another covenant being created. That was another agreement he was coming into. And now his wife is attached to that and his children is attached to that. And when I say these kids was going crazy, the things that the kids was getting in trouble for, I have never seen in my life my babies do those things. Mm-hmm. And so I knew that this was all a part of this, but I couldn't put my fingers on it. It was just too many things that was happening. And so that was the 2nd day. The 3rd day he came home and he said, babe, I really think I should take this, I think it was the emblem, off of this car. Y'all know, when he took the emblem off, I was like, oh, this is real. Okay, God, like you're really talking. Because that emblem for him was power. It was pride. It was arrogance. Because if a police officer saw that emblem and he's speeding, he's not getting no ticket. And he knew that. Like, if he's on maybe the side of a road and they see the emblem before they see him, oh, he gonna get the assistance and he gonna get the help. He'll get whatever he needs. If that, when he wore the necklaces and wore the hats or whatever, and we went to a club somewhere, not a club, it was like a nice lounge, in Charlotte, Fumi.
Yeah.
And we needed our ID. I showed my ID. Then can't stop him to show his ID. He didn't have to show his ID. They just go ahead and let him in. So it was a power, it was a pride, it was a arrogance to what he was wearing. And so when he took it off, I'm like, oh, okay, this is real. That was day 3.
Mm-hmm.
Day 4 and 5, he came home and he was like, babe, I gotta pack up my stuff. I gotta pack up the shirts. So it was the shirts and the necklaces and the hats and all the things. He packed it up, and then he gave them away. And then the last thing was the books.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all, when I say my husband had so many books, it didn't make any sense. Like, I didn't even know he had the Quran in our house. And we love God, we follow Jesus. But when he entered into the Masons, he became the knowledge of other deities and other masters and powers and gods entered his mind. And he was very confused because it was so many different religions in Masonry. And when you're learning about all of this, and then you're already in covenant with Satan, anything and everything can get inside of you. And that's what was happening. So he got the Quran in the house. I didn't know that. He had, books that debunked who God is and who God was. And so it was so much that fast did. So I wanted to make sure that he broke it down like that because, y'all, it was so powerful. And so it's one thing when the wife starts fasting and praying. Things do change. Y'all, but I'm not lying to you. It's like speed overload. When your husband get in alignment with the will of God, when the man of God gets on his knees and start praying to the God who created him, when I say things started shifting immediately, I mean our whole lives just started shifting.
Yes, definitely. And one of the things that she said was so true. Now, when I gave God that yes, it was the full turnaround. And like you said, man, as you all know, God created us in the image first, gave us dominion and power over everything. So we make the ground shake. So when we get in alignment, and they connect to us in alignment. My kids got in right, me and my wife got connected right, and just some of the things happen. So man, remember to always be a man of valor, be that kingdom man. If you're going through something, you said praying and fasting, go to God. I promise you it works.
Yeah.
And like you said, to the sororities, fraternities, and masonry, like you don't understand like what's happening in that moment. Like my whole, I was moving away from God. I was confused about God. I didn't want to say God's name when I was prayed. I didn't want to say amen because I was confused about the knowledge I would listen to. And we stray away from the Bible and from His scriptures and to other scriptures. You don't know what's going on. Your whole mind like, okay, does God this or God that or what's this or what's that? So when I went that fast, He wiped my whole memory. Everything basically was the books and knowledge. I began to gain His knowledge, read His word, become His word, eat His word. And my life turned. We got a new place. I got my job every more, and the things change around. And like you said, things only happen through prayer and fasting. But you got to go through the trials, the tribulations, having that faith, and go through the challenges, staying firm, and keep the eyes on the prize. Because everything behind fasting, God's going to give you double for your trouble.
Absolutely.
And that's what He did.
That's exactly what He did. And like we did, so I was on a 40-day fast when I found out all the things that I found out that my husband was doing behind my back. And the 40-day fast, I don't know, maybe I was in like day 18 or 19 of the 40-day. And so the life coach, Coach D, at the time, she said, Yolanda, do you really want to know what happened? He had just went to New Orleans with the Masons, and I really wanted to know like what happened while he was in New Orleans. And there was a young lady he was talking to, and I was like, well, where did she go? Y'all just Y'all just ended it. Y'all just stopped talking. My spirit wouldn't let me rest. So I'm like, what is going on? So I said, God, I need you to tell me what happened. I need you to tell me, where is she? Where did she go? Y'all, I'm not playing. The next day, I found the phone in his car. And I was floored. I said, God, I just asked you. And you get, so sometimes it is immediate. It is 100% speed overload, immediate results, right? Sometimes it takes about two fasting and prayer cycles. And then you'll start seeing what you've been asking God for. When you're really breaking strongholds and breaking covenants and coming out of agreement with, the things, expect God to do it suddenly. Expect God to do it immediately. Because that's the mindset you're going in there with. And your suddenly and your immediately is not the same as God's suddenlies and immediately. So you do have to wait on him. But I'm telling you, sometimes it is the next day. After that, after he went on that fast for real, and he really got what God told him to do, and he did those things. About 2 weeks later, I had to go to Atlanta. Y'all, that was the toughest trip ever because I was thinking about what had just transpired. I was thinking about all the things that had happened. And I did my best. I did a really great job at the event, but I was so unfocused. I was so not able to rest because I'm like, Lord, this just happened and I'm already here. And it was just a lot. So when I got back home, the healing started. And that same coach D who taught me about the fasting, she did our marriage counseling. We got back on one accord. And so I said, well, babe, prayer and fasting work for us. Let's bring our kids into it. So our kids we all wanted to move. And we said, God, we need a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, or 4-bedroom, 2-bath. I think my youngest daughter was praying for a 5-bedroom, 3.5 bath. I was like, okay, girl. So we're all praying for what we want, what we're asking God for. Y'all, I'm telling y'all, I think we did that for a week. In probably about 2 weeks, definitely within the next month later, we were blessed, and I'll show you the video of the 4-bedroom, 2-bath that we're living in right now. When I say the power of praying and fasting, when you tell that mountain to move, and the mountain for him was masonry at the time, when you tell that mountain to move and that mountain moves, and granted, every now and again, they still try to come back. They still try to call him. They still try to text him. But that mountain has been moved. So when you ask God for that, he will do it every single time. And the only thing you need is faith is the size of a mustard seed. You got to understand it's not going to be by your might or your power. It's going to be by the Spirit of God that clears out that mountain and makes sure that you're able to get to the assignment. And I'm just so grateful. We did that fast, and now the kids understand the power of fasting and praying. My youngest is still grasping the concept, but even, the oldest, I mean, she really knows about prayer and fasting because she see her mom and dad do it. And so I'm just so grateful that we understand. Now, one thing I want y'all to understand, and Prophetess Tiffany Montgomery says this all the time, fasting is not what gets you the results. God got you the results. Fasting is the tool that you use to let God know, hey, I'm ready to sacrifice everything I need to make sure that I hear you clearly. Because it's God who does it. God blessed us. Not fasting didn't bless us. God did that. And God allowed us to get there through sacrificing. We can't nail ourselves to the cross. That's the ultimate sacrifice that Jesus did for us, that God did for us. And so we sacrifice ourselves so that we may get those answers. And sometimes, again, what you go in there for, you get something totally different. And so I'm just so grateful to know about this, to unlock. I feel like I got the keys to the next dimension or the next whatever. Because that's what fasting and praying is the keys that unlocks the door. And behind that door is the answers that you've been asking God for.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Now, like I said before, now, in the midst of praying and fasting, God will give you exceedingly abundantly above what we can ask for, according to the power that within us. And when you pray and fast, God gives you the power. He gives you the stability. He gives you endurance. He gives you the mindset. He gives you the growth mindset. He gives you the more wisdom or discernment. He gives you a clearer vision of what He wants, and He gives you a purpose as well. So through the prayer and fast, I got my purpose. I'm back ministering again. I'm back doing all of God called me to do. But until I got that full yes for His will, and it wasn't only through prayer and fasting. So guys, remember this: if you want results, if you want God's clear answer on your calling, the clear vision, clear purpose, do it fast. And results will happen.
Absolutely. And if you want to know more about praying and fasting, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Drop a comment down below. Let us know what your results have been, and the last time you fasted. We love Covered by God. So anytime she does hers, what is it? Year of the Bride fast. We try to do it every time because it is so phenomenal, so eye-opening. When I say the spirit of gluttony, I was able to come out of agreement with. It was so many things. I forgot what it was that you came out of agreement with. But it's just phenomenal, that fast. It's not just about getting married. It is about breaking those generational curses, those familiar spirits, the things that come to the evil altars that you had no clue about. God will reveal them to you. And so you can come out of agreement with that, so then you can live the life that God has promised you. So we're so excited about, what God is doing in this year. We're going to keep y'all updated, but we are working on some amazing things, retreats and conferences and prayer brunches and books and all the things. So we're really excited about that. Fasting has definitely been, it's not something that I absolutely run to do. Like, oh my God, I love it, God. But because it is a sacrifice, but it is something that's necessary. And so I'm just so excited about what God is doing in this season and what He's going to be doing in your life. Again, if you need any more information, don't hesitate to reach out to us. You have our Facebook, our Instagram handles are in the description. And then you can reach us at The Mitchells with a Z. Is it 3313? 3313 at Gmail. Either way, it's going to be down below. All right. Thank y'all so much for watching. We love y'all. Make sure you subscribe, like and comment, and share. All right. Love y'all. Bye.
Peace.